Hello everyone, my name is Debbie. In today's video, I will show you how to make this first grade Google Slides lesson interactive by making certain components movable. This lesson provides students with scaffolds to support them in revising their writing, specifically by replacing some verbs with vivid verbs. I hope you find this video useful. Now I will show you how to make this slide interactive if you would like to assign this activity to students to do asynchronously. The first thing you will do after you make the slide is create a box to put the movable pieces. Make the box as large as you need it to be by clicking enter a few times. Then make sure you put a border around it. Now you have your slide complete, so you will download the slide as an image file by clicking File, Download, and JPEG or PNG. After you have downloaded the slide as an image file, create a new blank slide, click Background, choose Image, and you're going to use the image that you just downloaded. Drag it right in, click Done, and there you go. This part is no longer movable. Now, you want to add 2 circles so students can drag the circles over the verbs. Click Shape, click the shape that you want, and all you're going to do is make sure that it will fit over the word. So we can put it here to see. Make sure you change the background to transparent. Make the border a little bit thicker so students can see it better, and change the color. Now you have an oval that can go over the verbs. And you will need 2 of these because there are 2 verbs. So simply copy and paste, and you can put them right on top of each other. So students won't know that there are 2, but when it is their turn to work with this slide, they can just drag it over. And there you go. That's how you make this slide interactive if you are assigning it to students asynchronously. Now I'm going to show you how to make a word bank on Google Slides that has movable tiles. So rather than students simply typing the word, they can move the tile with the word onto their text. So first you will make your slide. As you can see here, I have the directions of what this we do activity is going to be, which is make my writing more interesting by using vivid verbs. There's an image to support the text as well as the text itself, which is, oh no, Jack's lost, I say. I modified the text to use present tense verbs because our focus is just on vivid verbs, so I don't want to add tense in there to confuse students. Now, the next thing you will do is create a text box. I'm going to use this space here and simply type word bank. As you can see, I underlined the word word bank as well as made it bold and centered it. The next thing you want to do is make sure you add a border around the word bank. This way students know where to choose their words. And simply just click enter until you get the right size for your word bank. So I think this is good enough. I'm not going to put too many words here. Okay, now that you have your word bank, you have all of the non-movable pieces, you are going to now create tiles. So the way we're going to do that is first, we're going to download this slide as an image file. You're going to click File, Download, either JPEG or PNG, doesn't matter which one. I'm going to go with the JPEG file. The next thing you will do is create a new blank slide and click Background, choose Image, and you're simply going to choose the image that you just downloaded. So I'm going to drag it there, and you can see this is exactly the same slide that I just created. So I'm going to leave this one here because this is a teacher slideshow, so students won't have access to it, but if I ever wanted to edit this, I'm going to have to change it here. So now on the new slide here, none of these pieces are movable. So what you will do now is add your word bank, and you simply have to add some text boxes. So here are the text boxes. I'm going to add try, and you want to make sure you add each word in its own text box. And again, put a border around the word. You might want to change the background as well. I would make it much bigger. It should be about the size of your text down here. And I would also make it bold. You want to make all of your words. I'm going to do cry and simply copy and paste. So I have the same exact format for all of the words. Cry, shout, yell. This is also a good time to make any modifications depending on your students' needs. So you might want to change up the words depending on the words that your students are familiar with. So again, we're trying to pick different verbs. We can just stick with these 3 for now. These are now movable. And since this is just for you, because you will be doing this lesson synchronously, you can simply, while you're teaching, just drag the one that they pick. So maybe they pick shout, you can just drag it over. If you want to make this an asynchronous activity, you would have to make each tile into an image. That way, students aren't able to change the letters inside. One way you can make the tiles into individual image files is simply taking a screenshot of it and saving each one as an individual image. So for example, I might use my snipping tool here. So I'm going to just quickly take a little screenshot of the word cry and save it as the word cry as a JPEG file. Now, after I do that for all 3 words, I can simply insert image and upload from my computer here. And I'm going to click the word cry. So now you will see I have the word cry. I can delete this one and put this one here. And you can see this one does not allow me to type or change the letters. So this would work for asynchronous work because then students won't be able to change the letters accidentally and they can just simply drag it over to replace the word say. Here's another slide that you might want to modify to meet your specific students' needs. Depending on what your students wrote in their personal narratives and specifically what verbs they used, you can easily change out these verbs. For example, if your students use the verb run, you could replace this one with run and put in some other vivid verbs such as bolt or sprint to help your students out. Another way to modify this slide is to change out the vivid verbs depending on what your students are familiar with and are likely to use. For example, if your students have never used the word roar in this sense, just remove it. So again, feel free to modify this slide to meet your students' needs. Let's review what I went over in this video. In the lesson, students revised their personal narratives by adding vivid verbs. I showed you how to make Google Slides interactive by making certain parts the background and adding movable pieces. This way, students can complete the activity asynchronously. The following lesson is very similar to this lesson, except this time students are revising using vivid adjectives. You can easily use this Google Slides activity as a template for tomorrow's lesson. All you have to do is replace the verbs with adjectives. Once again, I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching.